I'm officially 35 weeks pregnant now. I'm bringing you upstairs to kind of show you the side that I haven't really shown you in the last video, all of the progress that we've been making up here. I feel like we're in such a good place upstairs. Now with this wall that we've constructed here, I think you're gonna be able to understand the layout of the room a lot better.
Yeah, we just wanted to be ready and be sure that we have the basic necessities to bring the baby home. You know, that was the most important thing, and which I was getting nervous about.
Welcome back to our renovation in Tuscany. If it's your first time joining us, take a look inside our villa and explore our previous videos at the top right. Construction has been non-stop. We can't wait to show you all the major progress that has been happening recently.
Hey guys.
Ciao.
We're out here in the garden. It's a beautiful sunny day. Yesterday it was raining quite a bit, so it's miraculous for us that now we get this beautiful weather. So we figured we'd talk to you outside, even though it's a little bit
Dingy
and
overgrown,
needs a lot of work still.
Spring came early. Yeah, it's been very nice. The past 2 weekends, the past 2 weeks have been like people are at the beach, sunbathing, sun tanning, all that stuff. So it's been pretty crazy for February, because typically in February and beginning of March is the coldest time of year. Since we've been living here 7 years, it snowed 2 or 3 times in February and March, the times we lived here. So
yes.
Yeah, but now it's nice and springy.
So we thought it'd be fun to kind of like give you an overall update on what's going on over here. There's a lot of moving parts. As you can see, my tummy is getting larger and larger. I'm officially 35 weeks pregnant now. Things are getting very close to the baby's arrival. And it's just that last bit of anticipation, and we're first-time parents, trying to get things situated and organized as much as we can before baby gets here with a full construction job going on. It's a difficult situation in itself. Right now, we're so lucky that our builder is basically coming here every day and checking up on the job site to make sure things are running smoothly. If there is any doubt on anything as far as like what's the next step,
We figure it out on the spot.
exactly.
Yeah.
If he has any questions, he'll usually come and knock on our door in the morning downstairs, and then we'll go and look upstairs to see, you know, what that next step is, or whatever that doubt might be. So if doors need to be centered, or you know how big to make a certain wall, it just helps speed along the process instead of having to say, wait, I need to go on site at the end of the week when I have a moment to review everything and construction stalls.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah.
It's a big deal that we're able to keep it like pretty much like a well-oiled machine with his help.
Yeah, but I think like he said like we're fortunate that we live on site, which we are, because you know a lot of people don't have the space that we have in a house. So it's been nice to be inside our villa, and when they have those kind of questions right on the spot, we could go upstairs and look, as we did when we were living upstairs and when we came downstairs. It's been really nice to make the decisions on the fly, though it gets really tiring sometimes because you're always having to problem solve and
Make decisions.
yeah, and that becomes really hard, because sometimes we don't want to make a decision on the spot because we have to think about, you know, what it's going to look like in the end, and we can't just say, okay, hey, do this. I think in the beginning, though, I think they didn't really understand that from us, just because, yeah, we come from America, so it's definitely a different kind of mindset of like the way we want things done here. It's like, it's Tuscany, you're going to do it the Tuscan way, the house is going to look Tuscan. But I think, you know, now they understand that we're different for sure. They know that, and that we want to make a decision based on aesthetic and the way that it's going to look, as well as functionality.
Now they understand what our taste is, what we expect in the end as far as the finished product, what we consider a finished product, and they're able to anticipate that a little bit more. The other wonderful thing is that I feel like we're in such a good place upstairs. We started construction upstairs, I want to say the first week of January.
Possibly, yeah.
Consider it's been just a couple of months and we're really underway upstairs as far as getting all the major demolition done, all of the major components like the heating,
the air conditioner channels, all the channels for the electricity, everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a major overhaul of the upstairs in just 2 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas
less than 2 months.
Yes,
Yeah.
less than 2 months. When we think about the bottom floor,
I would say 6 months. I mean, minimum.
Yes.
Minimum 6-7 months.
Just to give you some perspective as far as the timeline that we've accelerated in these less than 2 months for the upstairs construction, it is the same amount of square footage.
Yeah.
Or square meters, so to say. So we have 200 square meters for the bottom floor and 200 square meters for the top floor. The top floor, however, has more bedrooms. We did have some structural changes that I've, taken you through so that you can see what those changes are. But in 2 months versus 6 months, we're able to accomplish nearly everything, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. But I think that really does boil down to now the builder knows exactly what we're expecting. Yeah. He understands our communication style. And I think the baby is also
the urgency.
Yeah, a factor in that he doesn't want there to be any loud banging and, with
I'm still nervous about that part because they're going to be doing like installation during that time, but I don't know if they're going to take a few weeks off while the baby, is fresh. This week, they didn't come on Tuesday, and it was like the first day in so long that we've had tranquility during a weekday, and it felt so nice to have no noise. And we were kind of able to reflect on what it might be when the construction's done, and we were enjoying it. Like, man, we can't wait until everything is done. Like, this is really nice to have nobody here, no noise. That's what I want for, our baby is that kind of tranquility and stuff like that, because it's difficult every single day to work on your laptop. And you have right now they're demolishing the floors in our closet, and it's literally like jackhammering right above our heads, and it's extremely loud. Even though we have the noise canceling headphones on, you could still hear the rumbling, and it gives you a headache. So I can imagine our baby, I don't want to put them through that.
Definitely, we've reflected on that. We really want to have that peace and serenity. We haven't had that for about a year since we moved out of our apartment. And it will definitely be a change of pace, but we're ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready for it. And I think the guys will definitely give us some space once the baby is born. We communicate with them all the time, and they constantly ask how I'm feeling and, kind of like what's going on. And yeah, that experience has been really wonderful to build these relationships with the guys that have been working here.
They look out for our best interests. I think that's one of the great things is that, there's sometimes, we have problems with some things, and they totally see our side of it. And, it's difficult being foreigners here sometimes because things move really, really differently here, and it's really frustrating, and they do their best to help us. And that is like one of the most major things, because they don't have to do that. But again, we have that personal connection. We love living here, and we try our best to understand everything, but sometimes things do go over our head, and they always help us.
Honestly, it feels like really strong friendships that even when the construction is finished, that we'll be checking in with each other, seeing how things are going with them too. We really do care for them, and they're doing a great job. I'm bringing you upstairs to kind of show you the side that I haven't really shown you in the last video, all of the progress that we've been making up here. They've been working on drilling all of the channels for the tubing, and you'll be able to see these are things that are really essential for the new radiators and the heating and cooling system that is going to be put into the top floor. So you can see the huge channels that they've drilled into the wall, and you'll also see that they've put in all the spots where they're going to put all the light switches and all of the plugs. So these channels will have new wiring in them, and from here we'll be able to control eventually, once we are able to pay for these windows to be replaced, the shutters for this side. You'll see here all the drilling that they've done so that they can put in the wiring and the new electricity that will be coming up through here. This is more tubing that's coming up from downstairs, and this is eventually going to have wiring as well, so that once we replace these, we can put in motorized shutters and we won't have to have these rope shutters. All of the channels have pretty much been done for the most part upstairs. I want to say that we have all the channels for the plumbing and the electricity, so there shouldn't be any more really loud noise from this point on. Let's go into the other rooms so that I can show you the progress that they've made in the other spaces. There's a little room off here, but you can't see because there's no electricity up here yet. They've done all the channels. Then you'll look in this main corridor here. If you look upwards, you can see they put all the railing and all the tubing here for the radiators and the railing for the drywall. So now that the tubes are put in and they're connected from the attic, they'll have good drainage because they have that gravity to come down here and supply the radiators with water. The next step is on Monday, our electrician will be coming to put in all the wiring that needs to go up in here. Once Rob and I figure out the positioning of the lighting for here in the corridor, the guys will be able to work on moving the tubes and the wiring accordingly. Then they can put in the drywall to the railing, and we'll pretty much be done in this area. They're just going to be focusing on filling all of these gaps once the electrician comes and puts in all that new wiring. You'll see here that they've already built the wall where you come in to either the bathroom or the bedroom. This will remain open and we'll have a beautiful, nice arch in this space. Right here, we will have a door so you can open the door and access the bathroom. Now with this wall that we've constructed here, I think you're gonna be able to understand the layout of the room a lot better, and it feels a little bit smaller, which is totally okay because it is a very large room in itself. We will be placing the bathtub in this area here, the toilet right in that area. Then on this side, we're gonna have a pair of beautiful French doors right here leading out to the balcony and a sea view. On this side, we will have a nice, large, expansive vanity. And right in this area, we will have our shower. We're still picking out all of the finish for this primary bathroom. We're not completely sold yet on what we want. We have to see if the material that we want, if there's enough to do the whole entire bathroom, which fingers crossed we will be able to. And of course, our trusted marmista will be helping us with this project. Once we've nailed down those design choices, we will be sure to share them with you guys. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, let's take you to this other area right up here. Rob and I opted for an arch that was integrated into the wall, not centered necessarily with the wall, so meaning it didn't have a little border right here. We really love this idea of being able to have this kind of nook. It will also tie into the design from downstairs where we put arches into that kitchen area. The guys have been working on drilling all the channels here and they're completely done. So we have new tubing for the air conditioning split unit that will go up there, and all of the tubing that will be put in for the radiators. Right here is where our closet is gonna be, and just yesterday they ripped out all of the tiles. You can see the spots where the tiles were before. You can even see the logo written on the bottom of the tiles where they were cemented. The reason why we had to rip out all of these tiles, it's not because we didn't like them. We actually really loved the look that existed in this part of the closet. But you can see here, this was where the closet ended. Because we extended it, we had two different kinds of flooring. one that was gonna be running up to here, and another one that would end here. That is the same one that's in the corridor. Rob and I decided, instead of waiting some time, it wasn't gonna be too much to just have it ripped out and put in some new flooring. So that way, when we're ready to have built-ins in this space, that we don't have to rip up the floor and it's not gonna be a huge construction job. All of that heavy lifting is getting done now, and they're gonna be able to make sure that all of this is done. Also in this closet, we had to put in a drop ceiling. You can look up here and you'll see they've already installed all of the railing for that drop ceiling. This is because we had to put in all of the tubes that were for the split units. So there's a split unit that's gonna be going in this bedroom, and it's gonna connect into the corridor. So they left spots open up there so that they can put all of the tubing. You'll see right up there. And they also left a spot on this side just in case we needed it for wiring. There seems to be holes everywhere in the villa now. You'll see here we have a hole going into the baby's bathroom because there's plugs that are getting installed on the other side, and they had to drill in a bunch of channels. So of course we're gonna have holes, but the next step is once we get all of the wiring done, they're gonna be filling in everything and making sure that it's nice and smooth, and you won't even be able to tell that that was there before. We're also putting in a drop ceiling in this small, narrow corridor because all of the tubing needs to come in here. The guys have been working really hard and even put up the railing for this area as well. The last spot that we will be putting in a drop ceiling is this bathroom, also because of the tubing. So they've already installed all of the railing that will be holding that drop ceiling and all the tubing for the radiators. I'm so happy to say that with just a couple months into the new year, that we are a really big way into the construction upstairs. As you can see, we have a lot of holes. Things are gonna start getting patched up and done very soon here so that we can have hopefully a more peaceful area, and also for the villa to start looking like a home again. As you can imagine with the construction, I have not been able to put together our nursery. It's just been absolutely impossible. It was a little bit of an ambitious idea for me to think that I would have a room ready for baby. The reality is the baby is going to have to sleep with us in our room downstairs until they finish upstairs.
Being ambitious, I could see May. It being done, like fingers crossed, it'd be done by May. That would be really, really nice, yeah.
So it's gonna be a little while
Yeah.
before we have a dedicated nursery, but a nursery will be coming. It's been really chaotic with having all of these boxes and not being able to even use our kitchen still. And the last thing that we've kind of like been thinking about is getting stuff for baby. But this week we finally bit the bullet and we said, okay, we're so close, and my doctors are telling me it could be any week now. We could have the baby a little bit earlier, so it's best to kind of like be prepared. Everything that was just very essential is what got delivered. So baby car seat,
Crib, stroller,
the stroller,
the bathing basket, yeah. But we bit the bullet, but we've had this plan since December when Andrea's mom was visiting us. We went to go choose all these things at this local store, which compiles a list of like the necessary items that you need and everything like that. Yeah, and then we finally purchased it and had it delivered, which we should have done a couple weeks earlier, but yeah, we just wanted to be ready and be sure that we have the basic necessities to bring the baby home. You know, that was the most important thing, and which I was getting nervous about because, like Andrea said, any day, you know, it could arrive. So wanted to be sure to have at least, you know,
a bed.
Yes, and the car seat you would need more than that because you can't even get the baby home. But yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday we had our order arrive from the baby store of the bare essentials. So we have the car seats, the car seat base, the stroller, you know, all the little things that you kind of need for when baby arrives. So we can get baby home, and also a place for baby to sleep for those first couple of months. So this one's a little cot that will sleep next to our bed so that it's a lot easier to handle, you know, those first couple of months. Then we got the crib and mattress and a couple of other little things that are extremely practical, not fancy whatsoever. Rob and I are certainly open to any tips that you may have as far as the things that you need when baby arrives. We don't have a changing table quite yet. I think that is something that we probably need to get. But aside from these things, I don't know what else you would add to the list. So comment below exactly what you guys kind of think that we need, that you couldn't live without, that really made your experience a lot better. We're very practical people, and we just want the things that are really essential. We're ready for our little one, and I'm very excited. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, no, it again feels surreal for me, and you know, after losing Rooney, it's going to be a nice thing to have our baby here, because when it hears our voice, it hears music, it goes crazy. So you know, we're ready for it to come and ready to experience this new sort of love, especially after really difficult.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really hard not having Rooney here, and everything's getting closer. There's really hard times that we have because, you know, I'll just start breaking down crying, or
Yeah.
It's hard because we wish that we could bring the baby home and Rooney would be there to kind of experience that special moment, but you know.
But it's the beginning of a new story, you know, and that's what I keep telling myself, is that one story has to end for another one to begin. And though it hasn't been that long, you know, he passed away January 7th, so it hasn't been that long, but we've been busy and getting it very excited for when the baby arrives. And I think, like Andrea said yesterday, receiving all that stuff, seeing like the little cushions for the baby to like rest on, and seeing the place where you're going to bathe it's really, for me, surreal. I keep saying that because that's the way that it is for me, because one day you just become a parent, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what my buddy was even telling me back home, is like, one day your whole life changes. You don't even remember what your life was like before that. And I think that's what is going to just hit me one day, and I'm ready for it. It's something I'm really excited for, and my mom is really excited. My mom and my sister are gonna come to Italy sometime in May, and they've never been overseas, so that will be really cool for them to see and experience and have a brand new baby here. My sister says she cries all the time, so it'll be really cool.
Yeah. I'm ready for them to come, and I'm hopefully gonna have another bathroom done so that they can enjoy the house, and they can be a lot more comfortable than we are at the moment. Again, it's going to be a really beautiful moment to share that with family, and to share this house and this project that we've been sharing with you guys, and actually for what it was meant for. For us, it'll be really nice to actually get to enjoy the villa for what we bought it for, to be a house, like Andrea was saying, to have people visit. It will be really amazing.
So many great things are yet to come, and we're so happy to be making such incredible progress with the villa. Who knows what the next few weeks will bring? Make sure to like and subscribe to follow us along this wild Italian journey.